Azerbaijan is a transcontinental and landlocked country at the boundary of West Asia and Eastern Europe. It is a part of South Caucasus region and is bounded by Caspian Sea to the east, Russia's Republic of Dagestan to the north, Georgia to the northwest, Armenia and Turkey to the west, and Iran to the south. Baku is the capital and largest city. The territory of what is now Azerbaijan was ruled first by Caucasian Albania and later by various Persian empires. Until 19th century, it remained part of Qajar Iran, but Russo-Persian Wars of 1804 to 1813 and 1826 to 1828 forced Qajar Empire to cede its Caucasian territories to Russian Empire. The treaties of Gulistan in 1813 and Turkmenchay in 1828 defined the border between Russia and Iran. The region north of Aras was part of Iran until it was conquered by Russia in 19th century, where it was administered as part of Caucasus Viceroyalty. By late 19th century, Azerbaijani national identity emerged when Azerbaijan Democratic Republic proclaimed its independence from Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic in 1918, a year after Russian Empire collapsed and became first secular democratic Muslim-majority state. In 1920, the country was conquered and incorporated into Soviet Union as Azerbaijan SSR. The modern Republic of Azerbaijan proclaimed its independence on the 30th of August, 1991, shortly before dissolution of the Soviet Union. In September 1991, ethnic Armenian majority of Nagorno-Karabakh region formed self-proclaimed Republic of Artsakh, which became de facto independent with the end of First Nagorno-Karabakh War in 1994, although the region and 7 surrounding districts remained internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan. Following the Second Nagorno-Karabakh War in 2020, 7 districts and parts of Nagorno-Karabakh returned to Azerbaijani control. An Azerbaijani offensive in 2023 ended the Republic of Artsakh and resulted in the flight of Nagorno-Karabakh Armenians. Azerbaijan is a unitary semi-presidential republic. It is one of 6 independent Turkic states and active member of Organization of Turkic States and Turksoy Community. Azerbaijan has diplomatic relations with 182 countries and holds membership in 38 international organizations including the United Nations, Council of Europe, Non-Aligned Movement, OSCE, and NATO PFP program. It is one of the founding members of Guam, the Commonwealth of Independent States, and OPCW. Azerbaijan is an observer state of World Trade Organization. Vast majority of the country's population, 97%, is nominally Muslim. The Constitution of Azerbaijan does not declare an official religion and all major political forces in the country are secular. Azerbaijan is a developing country and ranks 89th on the Human Development Index. Earliest evidence of human settlement dates back to late Stone Age, related to Guruchai culture of Azek Cave. Early settlements included Scythians during 9th century BC. Following Scythians, Iranian Medes dominate the area south of Aras River. Medes forged a vast empire between 900 and 700 BC which integrated into Achaemenid Empire around 550 BC. The area was conquered by Achaemenids, leading to spread of Zoroastrianism. Sasanian Empire turned Caucasian Albania into a vassal state in 252 while King Ernest officially adopted Christianity as the state religion in 4th century. Despite Sassanid rule, Caucasian Albania remained entity in the region until 9th century while fully subordinate to Sassanid Iran and retained its monarchy. Despite being one of the chief vassals of Sasanian emperor, Albanian king had only a semblance of authority and Sasanian Marsban, military governor, held most civil, religious and military authority. In the first half of 7th century, Caucasian Albania as a vassal of Sasanians, came under nominal Muslim rule with Muslim conquest of Persia. Umayyad Caliphate repulsed both Sasanians and Byzantines from South Caucasus and turned Caucasian Albania into a vassal state after Christian resistance led by King Huan Shia was suppressed in 667. The power vacuum left by the decline of Abbasid Caliphate was filled by numerous local dynasties such as Salarids, Sajids, and Shaddadids. At the beginning of 11th century, the territory gradually seized by waves of migrating Oghuz Turks from Central Asia who adopted Turkoman ethnonym at the time. The first of these Turkic dynasties established was Seljuk Empire, which entered the area by 1067. The pre-Turkic population spoke several Indo-European and Caucasian languages, among them Armenia and Iranian language, Old Azeri, which gradually replaced by Turkic language, the early precursor of Azerbaijani language of today. Some linguists stated that Tati dialects of Iranian Azerbaijan and Republic of Azerbaijan, like those spoken by the Tats, are descended from Old Azeri. Locally, possessions of subsequent Seljuk Empire were ruled by Eldeguzids, technically vassals of Seljuk sultans but sometimes de facto rulers themselves. Under Seljuks, local poets such as Nizami Ganjavi and Kakani gave rise to a blossoming of Persian literature in the region. Shirvanshah's local dynasty of Arabic origin that was later Persianized, became vassal state of Timurid Empire of Timur and assisted him in his war with the ruler of Golden Horde Toktamish. Following Timur's death, two independent and rival Turkoman states emerged, Kara Koyunlu and Ak Koyunlu. The Shirvanshahs returned, maintaining for numerous centuries to come a high degree of autonomy as local rulers and vassals as they had done since 861. In 1501, Safavid dynasty of Iran subdued Shirvanshahs and gained possessions. In the course of next century, Safavids converted formerly Sunni population to Shia Islam as they did with the population in what is modern-day Iran. Safavids allowed Shirvanshahs to remain in power under Safavid suzerainty until 1538 when Safavid king Tahmasp I completely deposed them and made the area into Safavid province of Shirvan. Sunni Ottomans managed to occupy present-day Azerbaijan as a result of Ottoman-Safavid War of 1578 to 1590 by early 17th century. They were ousted by Safavid Iranian ruler Abbas I. In the wake of the demise of Safavid dynasty, Baku and its environs were occupied by Russians as a consequence of Russo-Persian War of 1722 years old 1723. Remainder of present Azerbaijan was occupied by Ottomans from 1722 to 1736. Despite brief intermissions such as these by Safavid Iran's neighboring rivals, the land remained under Iranian rule from the earliest advent of Safavids up to the course of 19th century. After Safavids, the area was ruled by Iranian Afsharid dynasty. After Nader Shah's death in 1747, many of his former subjects capitalized on the eruption of instability. Numerous khanates with various forms of autonomy emerged. Khanates rulers directly related to ruling dynasties of Iran and were vassals and subjects of Iranian Shah. The khanates exercised control over their affairs via international trade routes between Central Asia and the West. Thereafter, the area was under successive rule of Iranian Zands and Qajars. From late 18th century, Imperial Russia switched to more aggressive geopolitical stance towards Iran and Ottoman Empire. Russia actively tried to gain possession of Caucasus region which was, for the most part, in the hands of Iran. In 1804, Russians invaded and sacked Iranian town of Ganja, sparking Russo-Persian War 1804 to 1813. Militarily superior Russians ended the war with a victory. Following Qajar Iran's loss, it was forced to concede suzerainty over most of Khanates, along with Georgia and Dagestan to Russian Empire, per Treaty of Gulistan. The area to the north of Aras River was Iranian territory until Russia occupied it in 19th century. About a decade later, in violation of Gulistan Treaty, Russians invaded Iran's Yerevan Khanate. This sparked final bout of hostilities between the two, Russo-Persian War 1826 to 1828. The resulting Treaty of Turkmenchay forced Qajar Iran to cede sovereignty over Yerevan Khanate, Nakhchivan Khanate and remainder of Talish Khanate. After incorporation of all Caucasian territories from Iran into Russia, the border between the two was set at Aras River. Despite Russian conquest throughout entire 19th century, preoccupation with Iranian culture, literature and language remained widespread among Shia and Sunni intellectuals in Russian-held cities of Baku, Ganja and Tiflis, Tbilisi, now Georgia. Within same century in post-Iranian Russian-held East Caucasia, Azerbaijani national identity emerged at the end of 19th century. As a result of Russian conquest, Azerbaijanis are nowadays parted between two nations, Iran and Azerbaijan. After the collapse of Russian Empire during World War I, the short-lived Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic was declared, constituting present-day republics of Azerbaijan, Georgia and Armenia. Followed by March Days massacres that took place between the 30th of March and the 2nd of April, 1918 in Baku and adjacent areas of Baku Governorate. When the republic dissolved in May 1918, leading Musavat party declared independence as Azerbaijan Democratic Republic, adopting the name Azerbaijan. A name prior to proclamation of ADR was solely used to refer to the adjacent northwestern region of contemporary Iran. ADR was the first modern parliamentary republic in the Muslim world. Among the important accomplishments of parliament was the extension of suffrage to women, making ADR the first Muslim nation to grant women equal political rights with men. Baku State University, first modern university founded in the Muslim East, was established during this period. Independent Azerbaijan lasted only 23 months until Bolshevik 11th Soviet Red Army invaded, establishing Azerbaijan Soviet Socialist Republic on the 28th of April, 1920. Although the bulk of newly formed Azerbaijani army engaged in putting down Armenian revolt that had broken out in Karabakh, Azerbaijanis did not surrender their brief independence 1918 to 1920 easily. About 20,000 Azerbaijani soldiers died resisting what was effectively a Russian reconquest. Within the ensuing early Soviet period, Azerbaijani national identity was forged. On the 13th of October, 1921, Soviet republics of Russia, Armenia, Azerbaijan and Georgia signed agreement with Turkey known Treaty of Kars. Previously independent Republic of Aras also become Nakhchivan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic within Azerbaijan SSR by Treaty of Kars. On the other hand, Armenia awarded the region of Zangezur and Turkey agreed to return Gyumri, Alexandropol. During World War II, Azerbaijan played crucial role in strategic energy policy of Soviet Union with 80% of Soviet Union's oil on the Eastern Front supplied by Baku. By decree of Supreme Soviet of Soviet Union in February 1942, commitment of more than 500 workers and employees of the oil industry of Azerbaijan awarded orders and medals. Operation Edelweiss carried out by German Wehrmacht targeted Baku because of its importance as energy, petroleum, dynamo of USSR. A fifth of Azerbaijanis fought in Second World War 1941 to 1945. Approximately 681,000 people, with over 100,000 women, went to the front while total population of Azerbaijan was 3.4 million at the time. 250,000 Azerbaijan were killed on the front. More than 130 Azerbaijanis named heroes of Soviet Union. Azerbaijani Major General Azi Aslanov was twice awarded Hero of the Soviet Union. 3 physical features dominate Azerbaijan. Caspian Sea, whose shoreline forms natural boundary to the east. Greater Caucasus mountain range to the north. Extensive flatlands at the country's center. 3 mountain ranges, Greater and Lesser Caucasus and Talish Mountains, together covering 40% of the country. Highest peak Mount Bazaduzu 4,466 meters, while lowest point lies in Caspian Sea -28 meters. Nearly half of all mud volcanoes on Earth are concentrated in Azerbaijan. Main water sources are surface waters. Only 24 of 8,350 streams are greater than 100 kilometers in length. All streams drain into Caspian Sea. Largest Lake Saraisu 67 kilometers square. Longest river Kur 1,515 kilometers, which transboundary with Armenia. Azerbaijan has several islands along Caspian Sea, mostly located in Baku archipelago. The first reports on the richness and diversity of animal life in Azerbaijan found in travel notes of Eastern travelers. Animal carvings on architectural monuments, ancient rocks and stones survived up to present times. First information on flora and fauna of Azerbaijan was collected during the visits of naturalists to Azerbaijan in 17th century. There are 106 species of mammals, 97 species of fish, 363 species of birds, 10 species of amphibians and 52 species of reptiles. National animal of Azerbaijan is Karabakh horse, a mountain step racing and riding horse endemic to Azerbaijan. Karabakh horse has a reputation for good temper, speed, elegance and intelligence. It is one of the oldest breeds with ancestry dating to ancient world, but today the horse is endangered species. Azerbaijan's flora consists of 4,500 species of higher plants. Due to unique climate in Azerbaijan, the flora is much richer in the number of species than the flora of the other republics of South Caucasus. 66% of the species growing in the whole Caucasus found in Azerbaijan. The country lies within 4 ecoregions: Caspian Hyrcanian mixed forests, Caucasus mixed forests, Eastern Anatolian montane steppe, Azerbaijan shrub desert and steppe. Azerbaijan is home to a wide variety of landscapes. Over half of the land consists of mountain ridges, crests, highlands and plateaus which rise up to 400 to 1,000 meters level, including middle and lower lowlands. Tailais, Jayrankala-Jinahor and Langabizalat 4 ranges up to 100 to 120 meters level. Gobustan, Absheron from 0 to 50 meters level. The rest of Azerbaijan's terrain consists of plains and lowlands. Elevations within Caucasus region vary from -28 meters at Caspian Sea shoreline up to 4,466 meters Bazaduzu Peak. Climate influenced by cold Arctic air masses of Scandinavian anticyclone, temperate air masses of Siberian anticyclone and Central Asian anticyclone. Azerbaijan's diverse landscape affects the ways air masses enter the country. Greater Caucasus protects the country from direct influences of cold air masses coming from the north. That leads to formation of subtropical climate on most foothills and plains of the country. Meanwhile, plains and foothills are characterized by high solar radiation rates. 9 out of 11 existing climate zones are present in Azerbaijan. Both absolute minimum temperature -33 degrees Celsius and absolute maximum temperature observed in Julfa and Orjubad. Regions of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. Rivers and lakes form principal part of water systems of Azerbaijan over long geological timeframe and changed significantly throughout. Evidenced by remnants of ancient rivers found throughout the country. The water systems are continually changing under the influence of natural forces and human-introduced industrial activities. Artificial rivers, canals, and ponds are a part of Azerbaijan's water systems. In terms of water supply, Azerbaijan is below the average in the world with 100,000 cubic meters per year of water per square kilometer. All big water reservoirs are built on Kur. The hydrography of Azerbaijan basically belongs to Caspian Sea basin. Kura and Aras are major rivers in Azerbaijan, run through Kura-Aras lowland. The rivers that directly flow into Caspian Sea originate mainly from northeastern slope of Major Caucasus and Talish Mountains and run along Sama, Devechi and Lankaran lowlands. Yanar Dag, translated as Burning Mountain, is a natural gas fire which blazes continuously on hillside on Absheron Peninsula on Caspian Sea near Baku, which is known land of fire. Flames jet out into the air from a thin, porous sandstone layer. It is a tourist attraction to visitors to Baku area.